Hello, everybody. Good evening. This is Shine at 9 coming to you. This is our 6th episode coming to you on a Friday night. Hoping that everyone has had their dinner, peaceful dinner, and enjoying their evening. So if you are here with us right now, hopefully you can click like, click share, and host a watch party for us. So today I have two wonderful guests with us. And before I do an introduction for them, we will have a 1-hour segment with two distinguished guests. Yeah. Okay. So without much ado, let me introduce my wonderful, wonderful guests. Okay, first I have Sonia K. Sarpal with us in the studio. Sonia is an HRBF certified trainer. She trains across several industries, ranging from SME, GLC, MNC, startups, preschool, retail, and food retail, and much, much more. Wow, that's a mouthful. Okay. What I love about her is that I can feel her passion in developing minds and inspiring people to reach their optimal performance in the field of branding, sales, and marketing, business development and strategy, and operational excellence. All right. I'll introduce Diane now. Diane is a professional photographer with over 10 years of experience. She has worked in New Zealand and also in Cambodia. Through personal experience, I can say that she is great at making people feel really comfortable in front of the camera. So together, they are here to share with you their views on professional and personal branding. So let's say hello to Sonia and Diane.
Hi.
Okay. Sonia and Diane, good friends of mine. We've known each other for not so long, roughly a year. All right, Sonia, would you mind sharing a little bit about yourself?
Hi, my name is Sonia. I am actually currently a consultant and trainer in marketing and branding. But that wasn't how I originally started. I'm actually a qualified nutritionist. I have a degree in nutrition and community health. And my objective in wanting to do that was so that I could help people. Unfortunately, if you look at me, I don't exactly have the perfect branding capacity to be a very effective nutritionist. And so I had to change courses somewhere along in my life. And I stumbled upon marketing. And it's something that I really found my passion in. And I found that in doing what I do today, I'm still able to help people, but this time making their lives and businesses grow bigger and better. That's all.
Wonderful. All right. Thank you for that. How about Diane? Tell us a bit more about yourself.
Hi, I'm Diane. I am born and bred in KL. Technically grew up here. I got into photography quite young. My father was the first one to hand me a little camera and say, you go take photos lah. So I'm like, okay. And the time he gave me a little manual camera and I was only 8. So there's like this mechanism that you kind of need to like make use. I try to understand. And I became quite technical after that because every time when I gave the camera back to my dad, he will send it to develop. That time it was still film, when I was a child.
Yep.
And it's film. So he came when the photos are developed and the photos comes back, right? He will always say, "Why did you take your photos this way? Why did you do it this way? Why don't you consider this way?" So he was my first photography critic. And I never consider it as a career. I never considered it as a career until I came to college years when I was doing journalism. And as much as I love photography, right? As much as I love writing news, I think there's another element of telling stories through photos that has a certain beauty to it. And since I kind of just not become a journalist, and now here I am. I'm a photographer.
It's great that one thing I can see in both of you is the passion to do what you are currently doing. not many people are fortunate enough to do what they like to do. So I think throughout this 1 hour journey that we have tonight, the audience would be able to really feel that you both are really passionate in what you are doing, and it really shows. And that's why I selected, in that way, invited both of you to join us, and as I feel that the audience can really benefit with your sharings. Yeah. Okay. Let's really begin the show, and let's ask you a little bit of a difficult question. Yeah. Okay. Sonia, do you believe that personal branding is important?
I think that personal branding is essential. It's not just important. At the end of the day, whether you like it or not, you are your brand. Whether or not you are carrying yourself in a business environment, in a work environment, or even in a personal environment, you are still projecting an image of yourself that other people see. Hence, brand yourself, how you behave, how you think, how you speak, it's all part of an overall brand. So whether we like it or not, we have a brand. And how we're going to protect it and take care of it and nurture it, that is essential.
Wonderful. Well, I can't wait for your sharing session after this, where you talk about how to ace your personal branding. I do believe. I mean, I'm an entrepreneur myself. Personal branding for me, we are so busy trying to do our business, trying to get the customers in, do the job, blah blah blah, and we sometimes forget this. And I have my lazy days, and on lazy days, I have a 10 a.m. meeting with a corporate client. And on my lazy day, I'm like, okay, I'll just go smart casual. In my industry, I can. Before this, yeah, I do something else before this. So in my industry, I can wear jeans. But, as I age and as I meet more entrepreneurs, they keep on saying that this is not looking good. So, yeah, I would really be paying attention to you, Sonia, later. And what about you, Diane? What's your take on this?
Like how branding is important?
Yep.
Yeah,
I think professional.
As a photographer, I think my job is to photograph a person and to bring out the best in the person. So as all of us are in this thing where we need to portray ourselves immediately in photos already before anybody sees you, but they will see your photo first. So my job was to bring that out, to bring your personality out, and it is on display on photos. So I think, yeah, it's important, because if you don't have photos of yourself, or rather good photos of yourself, that's not selfie.
Oh, sorry, that was a bit too loud.
But you know what I mean. It gives it's like people would unfortunately will kind of immediately judge your photos first. So you must have your photos done right.
Okay, not only selfie. When I was much younger, I used to just put on like anything that I fancied was a collared blouse and stand against a white wall like this, take a photo and crop it and fake it, put it on my resume, the old school style. Okay, I'm looking forward to your tips as well, because I find it difficult to smile in front of the camera as well. Okay, so Sonia, it's time for you to share your presentation on acing your personal branding. I understand that you have a set of slides to share with us.
Yes, I do. I do have a set of slides to share with you. Now, we just want to take it very impersonal, and very often when we talk about branding, we always hung up about personal branding versus business branding. And we're like, it's so formal. And sometimes we forget that sometimes when we're thinking about our branding, it's also essential that we have fun with it. So the first thing that I guess it's important for everybody to understand is that you are a brand. Whether you like it or not, you are a brand. So we always associate branding with products, and we say, it's a Coke, or it's an iPhone, or it's an iPad, or it's a Pepsi, or a gardenia bread. We always assume that a brand is always associated with a thing. But what we forget is that we are walking, living brands ourselves. And whether we or not, the first thing about us is our name. That is a brand that we didn't choose. It was chosen by our parents. But then again, as with all brands, you have the option of rebranding yourself. For example, if you don't like your name, you can ask somebody else to call you a different name. That's called a rebranding exercise. So think of yourself as a brand and how you want to project yourself.
Okay.
And thing that we always get confused about is when is it a personal brand and when is it a professional brand? Because at the end of the day, these two are interlinked. You cannot separate your business from yourself, and resonates throughout your personal life as well as your professional life. So your image, your mission in life, the values that are true to you, your vision of where you want to go, all this come together in one package to make you individual. It is there to make you an original person. You are the best original in the world, and nobody can copy you. And if you decide to copy someone else, it will show. So it's always a link. Whatever is happening within your personal and your professional life, at the end of the day, will funnel down into the brand that is you. Now, very often I'm asked, Sonia, you are a branding expert in things, in products. So how do you make the parallels between what do you call this personal brand and itself? Well, it's very simple actually. If you look at this diagram, strategy is always associated with the head. It's how you think and how you want to move forward in life. It's how you want to project yourself. It's your thought processes. Those are your strategies, and it's all in here. The next part is your heart. This is where you action what your values are. This is where you take what you feel and express it. Sometimes this and this don't work in sync, and very often this is the one that shows, not this. So you got to be very, when it comes to your personal branding, which one is your strategy and what is with your value. If it doesn't sync, it's not going to match. Your hands and your arms, those are the relationships that you build, whether it's a personal relationship or whether it's a professional relationship. That's how you are as a brand. Very often we associate the gut with the stomach, and this is the content. Very often your content is within you. When you feel that something's not right, it probably isn't. Trust your gut. Your legs and your feet, very tactical. There's a phrase that says "ato langkah," that is taking tactics and executing it. And obviously, there is the clothing that you wear as well, and that's your identity and your packaging. And I'm not going to dwell so much in terms of your packaging because there are so many image consultants who are out there to guide you on how you want to build that personal package of yours. But the only thing that I will ask you to consider in this personal packaging of yours is that it needs to resonate with this and this. If your outward packaging is a lie, it will be incongruent with this and this. So have a think about it. The next time you're with your image consultant, I'm sure they will steer you in the right manner, and they will always help you make this parallel. So now we come to the first tip. The first tip that I have for you is for you to know who you are and what you stand for. Very often we don't know who we are, and we are very confused, and we send out different signals, and it's because we don't know what we want. And sometimes I get, in a product, it's very clear. We want the product to be like this, like this, like this, but we are fluid, we are static. So if that is the case, and if we are fluid and the product is static, then how do you actually find out who you are? Now I have I call this the personal brand framework. It's when you actually start stacking your activities, who you are, your purpose, your values, your USP in a format about yourself. Obviously, what I'm going to show you now in the next slide is going to be too small for you to read. But this is something that I actually cover in depth on how to do it. There is a strategy on how to build this and how to put it in place. And it covers your purpose, your values, your strengths, your skills, your credibility, and your elements. So this entire thing will be put together. If you don't know how to do it, if you don't know where to stand, use this tool to actually do it for yourself. Now, the second part, and I guess one of the most important things for us to remember, is that you need to show the world who you are and what you stand for. And you don't have to make any apologies for it. You don't have to be embarrassed about it, because you know what? There is no right and there is no wrong, as long as you don't hurt anybody, you don't break the rules, and you don't, kill someone or something like that, or you don't cheat or steal or whatever.
Don't do anything illegal.
Yeah, don't do anything illegal or unethical. But
Yeah.
most importantly, what you need to do is you need to be true to yourself. I
like
seriously, I am an introvert. And whenever I tell people that I'm an introvert, they shake their head and say, "You bullshitting."
No way.
Telling the truth. They either laugh at me or something. But it's true. I find it very difficult to make the first move to be an extrovert and to do things. I need my quiet space. Although I'm an introvert, I don't brand myself as an introvert, because my job cannot have me be an introvert all the time. I meet people, I run events, I do training, I consult, I handle multiple stakeholders. So in the course of my job, I have to position myself as an extrovert, not an overly enthusiastic, over the top, bubbly person, but I have to be approachable. So while inwardly I am an introvert, I have to project an image. I don't think that I'm not being true to myself, although sometimes I feel tired because I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. I'm not doing something that I'm totally against. So I'm still being true to myself. When you want to show people what you do, you focus on the efforts that you're taking to fulfill larger purpose. So my purpose in life, I want to enable other people to help other people. I want to take it one step beyond. And everything that I do, as long as I meet this objective and true to myself, I'm consistent. Which brings me to the next point, which is you have to sell yourself. If you're a business person, or even if you are working in a company, or you are with friends, you need to sell yourself. You need to tell the world about who you are. But the caveat here is being consistent. Some people don't know who they are, and they behave very differently with everybody, and they're very schizophrenic, especially on social media. One moment they're talking about the moon, the other moment they're talking about the stars, the next moment they're talking about locking themselves into the corner, the next moment they're in a party partying their lives away. They're schizophrenic about their branding. And especially if you are a professional, or you're an entrepreneur, or you're a businessman, you need to project yourself in a very consistent manner. You cannot be schizophrenic. Even if you are actually schizophrenic, the image that you present, you cannot be schizophrenic.
Okay, that's good advice.
My last point here would be, you are a brand, and because you are a brand, you need to be true to yourself. So make your personal brand a memorable one. Be yourself and be original and be consistent and show yourself for who you are. You don't have to fill in the frills and the bells and whistles, but you just need to be yourself, the most beautiful person that you can possibly be, because if you are yourself, your personal brand will fall into place. I wish you all the best with MCO, and come listen to me next time to learn more. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for your sharing. Okay, for those of you who just tuned in, we have Sonia and Diane here. Sonia is a branding expert, and Diane is actually a professional portrait photographer. So if you just joined in right now, if you don't mind clicking on like so that we know you are here, and also, hey, why not share? Click on the share. Host a watch party. We can see Sharon here with us. Hi, Sharon. Yon, you're here with us tonight. Hi, Annie, Shoba. Hello to everybody. And we have so many greetings going on for you girls. May, Shoba, Kelvin. Oh, Kelvin, hi, Diane. Long time no see. I think it's a personal friend of yours. Yeah,
Oh,
so many of you are watching tonight. So if you have questions for Sonia and Diane, Sonia just presented her three tips to ace your personal branding. If you have questions about that, please feel free to ask. Type in the comment box. Yeah. So Sonia, thank you so much for those three tips. Yeah. There are some key points that I've picked up for myself. Especially to know who you are and what you stand for. There are a lot of, there are a lot of young entrepreneurs. How do you recommend that they find themselves or know themselves as a business person or as an individual? Because given their age, they might be still looking around.
Okay. Now, when you are confused about who you are, it's very difficult to put together a personal brand. What you really need to sit down and do, and this can be done, it doesn't mean that the person that you are at 15 is going to be the same person at 25 or 35 or 45 at 55. So your brand identity and personality, the person that you are, would have gone through many, many, many different changes. And unless the change is very, very drastic or something really horrible has happened or interruption has happened, the person you are inside doesn't really change that much. But what is helpful is if you refer to the brand framework that I talked about, you just make a list. What is it that is your purpose in life? And what is it that fuels you to achieve and drive you to achieve even more? And what are the values that are important to you? Now, in your core values are things like integrity, honesty, courage, trust in yourself. Put it down. Or maybe your core values is that you take things at face value. You never give up. You are compassionate. Just list it down one by one and list it down very, very clearly and identify also your strengths, whether you're motivated or not, whether you are passionate or not, whether you are independent or not, as well as your skills, what you do best. And remember, you are you. No one excels at being you apart from you. So it's all about you. So if you're smart about, you're smart or you're, really like a person who is so, who's got business at his fingertips. And I'll give an example. A mutual friend of ours, Dylan, he is an amazing guy. At 21, he's got a 7-digit sales figure, and he has just this knack for just making everything that he touches turn into gold.
He's Midas.
You can do it. And if you're like, somebody like, who's a great orator, or if you think that, you're a great artist, go ahead and do it. Put it down. And then bring some facts to support that as well. So what gives you that credibility? For example, certifications. What are your successes? What are the things that you've gone through? It doesn't have to be, really big stuff. You don't have to have a PhD. You don't have to have a doctorate. You don't have to have a master's. It doesn't have to be a university or a paper qualification. But there are other credibility things that you have done, you've achieved. You're part of a non-profit organization. You give, so that's the credibility. And also, what are your elements that you have? For example, for myself, I'm a certified trainer. I am a brand strategist. I also am the chief guru at my entrepreneurship academy. I am pretty authentic. What you see is what you get. I don't give you any fluff or frills. Those are my brand elements. I talk straight. And that is who I am. So once you list all your framework down, then you have a clearer idea of how you want to position yourself. And you can do this every year, every 5 years. The choice is yours because you can, always reinvent or re-strategize your brand image. So that's something that is open to you. I hope that answers your question.
That's a very good answer and very sound advice. Okay, one thing I really like about your presentation just now is that brand anatomy. So it breaks down from head to toe, and I think that is a very easy thing for everyone to just absorb and translate it into action, right? Okay, Sonia, thank you so much for your presentation. Now you sit back, you relax, sip a sip of tea, and we go on to Diane. Diane, you've got a presentation as well.
Yes, I do. Let
Okay,
me
let's share your
share.
screen.
Let me share that.
Okay.
Give me
Hi,
a-
Sheila. You just tuned in. Cheryl, Amanda. Hello, hello. If you've just tuned in, we are about to get to know Diane and her work a little better. She is going to talk about, she's going to give us tips on how to take good professional portraits. Yep,
Yeah.
I definitely need to hear about this. Okay, off you go, Diane. The stage is yours.
So now I know we just heard Sonia talking about like how to be yourself, really, like how you should portray what is inside of you, and about personal branding. And likewise, my job, right, is actually to photograph you for you. Because the best type of photos I've taken of people are the ones who are most themselves. Whether it is during weddings, whether it is during even a post shoot, when I tell them to get into a comfortable position where I don't tell them to pose, that's usually my money shot. It's weird, but let me give you some tips. As a photographer for so many years now, I think from my observation, this is some tips for you as a person who's coming for a shoot, not so much for me, because my job was to, there are things in my mind that I do, but I think I'll reveal later as I go along. So these are just some tips. Let me just show you one. The first one is, of course, just like what I've said, be yourself. Now, I think there are a lot of people out there who like say, yeah, actually I'm very shy one, or I'm very loud. And some people, but most of the people I know, including myself, the moment I stand in front of the camera, I just I stammer. I just I become weird, because I have Cheryl to testify on this. The moment she asked me, okay, smile, then I'm like, senyum kambing,
Right. I have that problem.
But you see, my job as a photographer, yes, I tell you to be yourself, but I think it's already important, just like what Sonia says, you must already be comfortable with yourself. You must already know what you are, who you are as a person. So it's easy when you come over, you already know what you can do and what it is, what is it about you that makes you beautiful, what makes you special. So that's just a photo of myself and Cheryl. Cheryl is my business partner. She is the other photographer for Moko under my business. Of course, my business has another person behind the both of us, which is my mom. She handles our accounts. Yeah. Okay. Let me just show you a little bit of an example of this. Now, this is a director of a holdings company, and it was a very interesting subject for me, because when he came into the room, I knew he was a director because of the way he carried himself. And then when he walks and I tell him, sir, please take a seat, that is the pose he gave me. I did not teach him what to do. I did not tell him where to put his hands. He just said, okay, I'll sit down. He sat down there. Immediately I got my money shot. That is what I mean when you are comfortable with yourself already. You have to be yourself. You must know who you are. And you bring yourself, and the next thing I know, my job was like lighting, everything must be correct, and then like ta-da, editing. That's my job. But your job is to come as yourself. Yeah. Okay. And I thought that was a great photo. I'm going to show you another example. This is, I think, one of her assistants. I just told her, okay, just stand right there. And then I did not tell her what to do with her hands. She just puts it in the pocket. I'm like, she's comfortable, and I got the shot.
And these are good shots by your standards? These are good shots?
I think they are pretty good shots, actually.
Right, okay.
For me, I think my job as a photographer, obviously I have to worry about lighting, what is on her face, how light is falling on the face, but that's very technical. That is not something, for clients to know. But that's my job. But your job is to come as yourself, right? So this is Ashik. He's a money changer. He came to me and he said, actually, I look very awkward when I smile. So I asked him to smile for me, and true enough, he looks awkward. I'm like, okay, you know what? Don't smile. And bam, there are times when if a client is not comfortable with smiling, if smiling makes you uncomfortable, I won't make you do it. Really, I want to feel you in your element, and I think this looks great. That is a smile, and that I think that's great.
Well, guys, if you're listening and you think these shots are great, type in yes. Let Diane know you are agreeing with her. Yes, 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 everywhere. Okay, sorry, Diane. I'm just too excited. They're really good shots. Yeah.
Oh, good. Thank you. Okay, so quickly, tip number 2, know the purpose of your photos. A lot of people, they came to me. Okay, no, sorry, I won't say that. I will say that most people, when they come to me, they will already know what are these photos for. So every time a person comes to me and they say, hey, I want to take some photos, I will ask them, what is it for? So if they come and tell me, oh yeah, for company, for use of in my business, or I have a new blog and I want something that's more fun, you must know why you want these photos taken. So now these were taken from a gym. So John right here, John as in the dude here, he is the gym owner. So obviously he has a very nice physique. That is him. And he told me the purpose of the photos was to show that, in the programs that he does, his gym is at CPAC, the Revelation Republic. That's where I go to. He tells me these photos are for promotional purposes. And perfect. So how do you want to promote yourself? I want to show my nice body. So there you go. So you must know what you want and you must communicate it with your photographer. Be clear about it. Right? Otherwise, I'm not able to translate what you want in photos. So like this lady here on the left here, she's actually the competition winner. She won the female category of the best. I think was it the best? She has the best results in 8 weeks. It was an 8-week challenge, and she won that to be photographed as well. So you must know.
You have the phone number to these two people?
I can direct you to the gym. I can direct you to the gym. Please come to the gym and work out. Okay?
Good enough. We'll look for John and the lady there.
When the whole MCO thing is over, okay? Please work out. I want to go work out already. I miss it. Okay. All right. So here, this is a lawyer. He was a former client of ours. He was our pre-wedding client. He came back to us and he said, hey, my law firm wants photos and they want something that's more natural, something that's less like, lighting and all that. So they just want something more natural. I said, look, if you want to go natural, you're going to go outdoors. They loved it. And so immediately we went outdoors. So the purpose of this is to also show that their law firms are a bit less, it's a bit more lively, less like a law firm. I don't know.
Less legal.
Less aggro. So it's like to give that image of like less of a, I think it's to soften their image as corporate lawyers,
Like a modern way to portray a legal firm. So they wanted a difference. And once they've conveyed that intention to you, these were the results.
Correct. It's easier to translate to me. That's why I think a photographer is not a camera clicker, okay? On the contrary, we are not just a camera clicker. It's so easy. Just if we are just camera clickers, right? Just put a tripod and press on it, right? But no, for us, our job was to translate what you want into photographs for you. And so this is Erica. Erica is also my yoga teacher, and So she came to me and she's very clear. She says, hey, I want photos for my yoga practice. We want to use for promotional purposes as well. So I'm like, okay, come to my studio. And she likes bright colors because her personality reflects that. And so my studio is nice and bright. I said, you know what, come to my studio, let's do it. And she even brought a prop. So that's this thing on the right here is her roller. So the roller is a big part of her yoga practice as well. I said, no, bring your props. And so that's the use of it.
Wonderful.
So the last but not least is tip number 3 is that your photos should reflect your branding. I'm showing you these photos because these are from Dr. Shana's clinic. It's called Clinic Pergigian Fauzia. Yes, they are in KL. They're in Tampang, somewhere, Taman Melawati, very close to the zoo. And so their branding, right, reflects in all of their smiles because they perfect smiles basically. And here, their dentists all smile very, very nicely. Just look at all their smiles. It just makes you want to have that smile too, you know. So that reflects the branding. And he told me very clearly. So I'm like, okay, then all of you must flaunt your smile. So that's how they flaunt their smiles. Now this is Jeff's clinic. He's a physiotherapist. He owns Remarkable Physiotherapy in very close to Hospital. So that's the practice. And I photographed this particular photo this way is also to give you an environment where they work, which is nice, clean, and white, very bright. So that's the image, and it's part of their branding.
Wow.
This here is she's actually a TCM. She's a practitioner for Chinese medicine, traditional Chinese medicine. So when she came over, she told me, "Hey, I'm gonna bring my props over if that's okay." I'm like, "It's perfect. If you bring your props over, it really just immediately shows your branding that you're professional, that you can do the job." So the hand right here is actually my mom's hand.
Okay.
So she just lent her hand so that you can see her doing her work. So it's a big part of branding, and you must know when you come over to do your photos, it should also reflect that. So this is the same for that law firm. They want to reflect fun. They want to reflect that they are not so uptight. It's all fun as well working in a law firm. So that's what the image that's the brand and the image that they want to portray. So basically that's it. But I just want to say that if you're here and think about that you want to come here and you want to ask about poses, right? Poses is hard to teach over something like this because certain poses are only suitable for certain circumstances. Not every circumstance you can do this. That doesn't make it friendly, but in some circumstances, some poses actually make you. Some of this where you hold your elbow just makes you look a bit less stiff. So like on what circumstances do you do whatever? It also depends on your branding. That's why my job as a photographer is I need to understand why you want these photos and how you are. Try to understand who you are and translate them. That's the job of a good photographer. So that's all for my sharing. I hope you learned something.
Wonderful. Yep. I've gone quiet because I've learned a lot of things and I'm processing.
So much.
Okay. Yeah. Diane, can you flip your chart to the one before this, the group of lawyers? So actually, for an image like this, would you know what did they use this for?
Their website. They use it on their website, on their social media, if I'm not wrong. Yeah.
Right. So if you are looking for their services and you look at this, they're approachable, they're different. Yeah, they're not like totally traditionalist. Yep. Okay, that's brilliant. Okay, when a corporate client come to you like this, a group of them, what are your processes to take them through the journey for you to achieve that intention?
Okay, I think one of the first things I'll ask is, what do you want to use it for? I want to know what is it for. If you tell me that you just want it for website and you want to show that your organization has a lot of people, or that you have this nice professional look that you want, we want good photos to be taken of the group. then I will ask like, is there a certain look that you want? What business do you do? Sometimes, then the next step I will ask is, what are you gonna wear? So then, if they tell me that some of them are gonna wear different things, then usually I will usually advise against it. Okay, one of the biggest things to avoid is when you do this kind of professional photos is that don't wear clashing colors. It will hurt your
Clashing
eyes.
colors like how?
Like clashing colors, like maybe some there is maybe ladies we like to wear. Some of us like to wear bright colors, like maybe like a bright orange, bright yellow, and then you have another lady down there who's wearing fuchsia pink, for example. If you have a lot of that, it will look not only it will look like traffic lights, it will look like a lot, and it doesn't give you that harmony. It doesn't give you the harmony in your eyes. So it kind of hurts your eyes.
So one is clashing color with each other, each
Yeah.
colleague, and then the harmonious of the location, outdoor, indoor.
Yeah, I think these things need to be communicated to me. If you want it outdoor, like where, how, and you must tell me what is it. Actually, the biggest one was what is it for? Because some people, if they say, yeah, I just need a good photo lah, then okay lah, man, come to my studio will do. Or if you tell me I have like 30 people, then I'm like, okay, let's go outside, or I will just have to rent a bigger studio.
Right.
That was, if anything, tell me what you want. Like, what do you want?
Okay. All right. Wonderful, Diane. Diane, you actually have a question here from the audience.
Yes,
it's coming from Miss Sharon. What is your advice for someone who is camera shy?
I think, yeah. Now, I personally understand what it's like to be camera shy because I'm a little bit like that. But what I do is my job as a photographer is that I will give you very clear instructions as to how you're gonna stand, how you have to. Your posture is very important. So then I will tell you, okay, let's take it easy. Let's do simple things. I always start with simple things first, like standing and stand to the side. That's like one of the most simple things to do. But when I got that done and I've got it well, I will show it to a client. Then usually a client will look at it and like, oh yeah, okay, not bad. Then usually that would immediately make them feel comfortable already because they already saw, hey, actually not bad one.
They're looking okay.
Yes.
Even in their shyness, right? Okay.
That's right. So if you're very shy and you don't like it when there's a lot of people around you, maybe you just have to arrange separately with me. I understand there are people who are like that, but you just have to communicate with me. We make arrangements, but usually that's how we do it. I get you to do something simple first, and then gets you comfortable. Then I'll do something a bit more. I'll guide one by one, step by step, as to what you can do, what you cannot do. Then you tell me what you prefer. Then after, usually when they see photo, they're like, oh, okay, very nice. Then they become better already.
Yeah, they warm up, right? They come into themselves and they feel comfortable. The fact that there's a camera right in front, they're getting used to the environment.
That's right.
All right, let's merge you two together. Yeah, let me ask Sonia a question. Sonia, coming from a personal branding perspective, knowing, let's say, your client is about to walk into a photo shoot with Diane, and okay, something like what Diane has said, they're planning to use this for their website and social media, and maybe a print item, brochure. What would you recommend them in terms of what to wear? Like Diane was saying, no color clashing. So what would you recommend them?
Okay. The first thing I would do is probably ask them whether it's going to be a group or a company shoot or an individual shoot. When it's an individual shoot, then you probably have a lot more flexibility because you go to your wardrobe and choose something that you like. But then again, I would ask you if it's for business purpose, so it's a brochure or profile. How official do you want that persona to be? And does it sync with the values that you carry for yourself? Is it your kind of personality? As I've grown older, I told you about different stages in life. So personal branding changes as you move on in life. And I'm the kind of person I hate wearing formal clothing. But in the instance of a photo shoot, for a professional look, I would ask you, number one, the purpose. What is it that you want to use it for? and also whether it is really in conflict with the image of your brand and business. If you are a construction worker or you own a construction company and you want to show hands-on, getting down to it and fixing stuff, would a business suit really be congruent with that image? Business versus personal. So I would actually ask you to identify the type of business that you're in, the usage of the photos, and what kind of messaging you actually want to portray. If it is a personal photo shoot, I would ask you, what kind of person are you? Are you a fun-loving person? So one of the things that I am an introvert, but at the same time, for people who know me, I talk nonsense and I do this in my photos. And if that is your character, you're cheeky and you're funny, and that is the kind of stuff that you want to portray, then that's what you need to project as a personal image. But if you are a serious person and you need to project yourself as a serious person, by all means, please do so. So be very, very careful about what it's. If you're in a construction business or a carpentry business, please don't wear a business suit for a photo shoot for a brochure. Very incongruent. If you're a doctor and you wear shorts and singlet at a beach, it's also very incongruent. So you really, really need to know what is the use of that particular photo and how does it fit with your professional image. Because if it's a brochure, it's a professional image. So you got to make that judgment. And the rest, colors and whether it's an A-line or whether it's a flare or a slim fit, that one I have to leave to my colleagues who are image consultants, because I think they know better how to package the people.
All right. So just keeping in mind that congruency between your personal brand, your business brand, and where you're going to use these photographs. Yeah. Okay. And the one thing that I noticed between both your presentation, there's something that rings true and similar for both of you, is that the value of being true to yourself. Yeah. So Diane, I'm guessing that being true to yourself will translate better on photo. They would feel comfortable. Am I getting this right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest homework before anybody. Okay, I'm gonna put this out very delicately. I think if you don't like yourself, there is still always something you still like about yourself. I always believe it. It's whether it's your beautiful personality or you might say you've got beautiful eyes. My job as a photographer, right, is when you come into my door, I will look at your face. I'll look at you like that. I will look at you like that. And then, like, okay, a bit weird, but I do look at you a little bit like that. Then I look at you at the left, the side, so I will see what looks better on you, because our face. I mean, we're not models now, right? I think if I can bring out the best things of you, what's best about you, then I think if you're still not satisfied, then actually something about that is a bit that comes back down to yourself already.
We will send you to a different specialist.
Yeah.
To work on your your confidence and things like that. But I think being true to yourself is a very good tip for people who are camera shy. Right?
Yeah.
Because like you said, focus on what you know or what you like about yourself. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because,
it shows on, it really shows. Like, I'm gonna share a very quick story about
go ahead.
one of our clients who walked through our doors. She came for a pre-wedding shoot, and eventually we shot her wedding. Now, I know prior to that she had cancer, and she battled second round of cancer, and when she got recovered from the second round of cancer, she said, "That's it, I'm getting married." And so there's something about that excitement, like, I'm getting married, I am better now, I'm getting married. Even though she's not the slimmest girl in the room, okay? But she looks beautiful in the photos. It comes out that I'm getting married. I look great. I'm well.
Mm-hmm.
And that radiates, and I just love those photos. And it's I think for me as a photographer, it is my honor, right, to see the photos all put to good use. And then just about a year and a half after her wedding, she passed because she was struck with cancer for the third time, and cancer just took her in 1 month. The photo in front of her, hers, was a photo that we took of her when she looked absolutely happy and pretty. So there's more things to like about yourself, lah, really. I do believe that.
I think I have to agree with Diane here. When you talk about branding, one of the things that I had actually talked about was where your heart was, and that's your values, and that's who you are on the inside. The head can try and plot and scheme, but at the end of what truly shows are your actions in anybody's personal brand. So if you are okay on the inside, whatever you do will be translated into your personal brand and be exuding your outside outward. It's when you plot and scheme and you try to be something else that you are not, and you try to hide. There's just so many layers. That's when people know that you are so fake, and that translates in your personal brand. You become very, people say, "Ah, such a fake, fake smile, fake this, fake that, or what a bullshitter, or whatever it might be." It's like all talk, no action. So that's when you get that kind of taints on your personal brand. But if you remain true to yourself and your values, what's inside and your purpose, it will get exuded into your actions. And that's when people like Diane would be able to capture that and bring it forth. And you get an entire package because you're true from here and it exudes outwards. So that's a total package.
Yeah. Okay. I understand professional portraits are usually taken when people are looking for a job to furnish their resume, for maybe their LinkedIn profiles. Perhaps if for someone who is looking for a better job prospects, what advice would you give, Sonia?
Look your best. If it's really for your career, then take the effort to look your best and make sure you put your best foot forward. Because if it is a career change or for you to sell yourself, then your best possible image will give you the edge in your branding. But I tend to agree about taking photo shoots or personal branding shoots only when people are moving on in their career or whatever. And here I'm going to share a little bit of a naughty story about a friend of mine.
Okay.
She actually went to take a personal photo shoot, and she's my age. She got it done 5 years ago. And the reason why she went and took it, and she's very healthy, very happy, very fit, and in all probability, she'll live to 150. But the reason why she wanted to go for this photo shoot is so that on the day of her funeral, she has a beautiful, well preserved photo of herself looking at her best. And she went for a personal, professional photo shoot to make sure that that image of her is captured for all eternity. So we all have many, many reasons why. It's not only because people are moving on in their career. It could be, I've lost weight, I need a revamp. Or I put on, my passport doesn't look like me anymore. It could be multitude.
Don't tell people my secret.
Don't tell people my own thing. So it's for not because of a career change.
All right, wonderful. Okay, we've got a few more questions here. We are approaching the end, almost the end of the show. Yeah, Sharon Fu. Okay, this is a comment. Let me put it up. I like my eyes to be bigger, right? But I tend to scream in the light with the lights in my eyes. Earlier on, Sharon Fu mentioned that she does like photo taking outdoor. So I think that's what she meant by the lights being in her eyes.
Okay. I think as a photographer, I will want to know if how sensitive are you to the light, because usually we will put people against the light. you don't face the light. Because yes, squinty photos it's like that lah, nobody likes that. So usually what I do is I look where's the direction of the sun, and I will of course put you to have the sun at your back, because that in itself is actually better for camera. I mean for lighting, because it will light your shoulder, it will light your hair. So that's very pretty. So that should be okay. You should not be squinting, unless you are very sensitive to light. Then that might just be a condition that I can't help. Then I will probably have to do indoors. But indoors are also can be bright. Like my studio is nice and bright, so that would be okay too, right?
Can I interject? I would really like to interject on a professional branding aspect. There is a particular software, and I can't for the life of me remember what it is right now. And I think when I do, I'll let you know. That actually scans your profile picture, and there are two softwares that actually do this. And one of the software actually encourage you to squint your eyes a little bit so that you don't look so fierce. So there is a photo software that actually measures the squintability, and it actually tells you that you need to squint a little bit more to make your eyes a little bit more friendlier. So having eyes is not a bad thing, because sometimes when you have big eyes, it tends to go the other way.
It's also
photos is not a bad thing. It's professionally proven that it works very well in personal branding photos when you have slightly smaller squint.
right.
Do you know there is a term for that? It's called smiles. You smile with your eyes.
Tyra Banks coined it.
That's right. You
Smiling
smile with
with
your
your
eyes.
eyes.
It's like, there are people who just do this smile.
Yeah, like a 5-year-old kid. You look at your like Tadika photos. All our Tadika graduation, we do that.
Yeah, like nothing in the eyes.
Right. Yeah. Now we are all with masks, being MCO and COVID and whatnot, so we can practice our smiles. From Miss Tyra Banks, I watched America's Next Top Model back then.
Actually, I used to learn a little bit from there,
Okay. There is quite a good question here. This is for Sonia, yeah? Sorry, not this one here. Yeah. How much of your true personality should be part of your personal branding?
Okay. This is where you have to actually draw the line very, very clearly about who you are when you are. I think behaving and projecting an image in an appropriate manner based on the circumstances and that particular moment in time. Okay. When you are true to your personality, I'm not asking you to fake it as like, all the time, every time, in every occasion. No, if you're that kind
That's
of person,
so not me. Yeah.
Okay, and if you're that kind of person in a funeral, you will automatically tone down. The true personality are the true values that you want to project. It's about your sincerity. It's about your integrity. It's about your reliability. Those kind of traits or personality traits will be the ones that will form the most lasting impression of who you are wherever you go. And that kind of personality or your traits and your characteristics, the inherent characteristics, your true self, that doesn't change whether you are rah-rah at a rave party or you are somber at a business meeting. The sincerity, the values, your true personality will adjust itself and you behave outwardly appropriate to that instance. So my suggestion to you, if you are really being true to yourself, let it all out no matter what. And if you are by nature and by personality a very serious person, guess what? It's perfectly okay.
You will attract the people that understands that characteristic, and I think you will be more comfortable having friends with that same vibe, with that same personality trait. Yeah, it's a very sound advice. Of course, we are further along in our age. maybe a person younger, they might be uncomfortable with who they are or still finding themselves. I keep going on to this. The reason is this. I found that when I was much younger and I started my business, I didn't know what and what. And I thought that, I need to wear a different mask at a different setting for my business. Yeah. So then after a while, you get to know that there are other people that are exactly like you in business. Yep. So you'll find your crowd anyway. So be true to those traits that you want to project, the responsibility, honesty, that kind of traits. Okay. No more questions because sadly it's 10 o'clock and these two girls have brought my mood down because they talk about death and funeral.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Okay,
Sorry,
I'm ready. Okay, but oh my Jesus. Okay. What's going to happen next? All right. Sonia, I understand that you have got a class coming up and it's costing 1,999. Tell us a
Yes.
little bit more about that class.
Okay. The class that I'm talking about is actually how to navigate through this turbulent time and why it is so essential to stay ahead of this curve. It's called Marketing in Turmoil, staying ahead of the crisis curve. Now, not we run workshops. We do it at 1,999 because seriously, it is an investment for you to grow your business. Geraldine had a chat with me and she said, Sonia, get real. Okay, 1,999. Get real. Even if I wanted to.
I respect trainers and their pricing because you've got 20 years experience in this. But
Yeah.
we are in the turmoil.
Yes,
So,
exactly. So staying ahead of the crisis curve, I think, Geraldine, you think 50% discount is okay?
I don't know. Let's leave it up to the audience. 50%, that makes it about 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Audience, what do you think? Is 1,000 ringgit for that? I think we go cheaper.
Okay, hang on. I'm just checking my message. My business partner and my accountant have both.
I feel like a cheapo trying to negotiate on the price.
Yeah.
This is not personal branding, by the way. This is me helping all of you out there. I'm not a cheapo. Okay, I am.
Okay, because, all right, so I'm getting a message from my accountant, and my accountant insisted that I get real. And so if you sign up by 22nd May, we will not give you a 50% discount. We will give you a 9% discount. So for a class for 1,999 ringgit, I've been instructed to let you have it for 199 ringgit only before the 22nd of May. 199.
Oh, wow.
What the heck just happened?
I just
Okay.
gotten,
So are you diluting the class or what?
No.
Are you going to dilute the class? Cut it into 10%?
I am so sorry. I will not compromise on my quality.
Okay.
We'll be delivering full quality, what you get for a full price cost. I will not, I'm sorry, this is my personal branding. If I screw up on this and I cut short, my branding is short. So there's no way I can afford to do that. So I will not.
Diane will be there to take photo of you messing up.
No. I'm not.
Okay, so what can we do if we want to sign up for this amazing offer? What 22nd of May we have to get in touch with you?
Send me a WhatsApp. We can post my number. Okay.
Let me type all this out. You mentioned that your course is called Staying Ahead of the Curve, Staying Ahead of the Crisis Curve. Is that okay? Let me just type it out. Marketing of Tomorrow, and it's will happen first week of June.
Yeah.
It's for 199. And they must contact you by 22nd of May.
Yeah.
And you sure you want to release your phone number?
I'm okay. Who's going to stop me?
I don't know. Do not sue me. Do not sue me if anything happens. Okay.
Sonia is famous.
Okay.
Yep. Diane is my witness. Okay. So go. This is going to sound like an old school 90s TV, those sales thingy. You contact Sonia at 017-888-99073 before the 22nd of May, before you go on your Raya break. Get in touch with Sonia. It's 199 and it's for what? 1 day?
1 day.
1 day course. Wonderful. Okay, I'll leave that up for a bit. And I understand, apart from this 199 course, you've got another webinar going on.
Yes, I have a webinar on next week, and it's actually a little bit about the current scenario and looking at things from a different lens. It's going to be a case study of a true happening during MCO and how our perceptions have led us to believe something that is not entirely true. Not to say not true, but not entirely true. And it has to do with the economy, and it has to do with finances. And our perception as business owners on how we are going to capitalize and read the market. So that's happening on Monday. I think it's the 11th of May, and it's happening at 11 a.m. On my
Is that
Facebook
right?
Live.
Is that right? Sorry.
Yes,
Yep.
correct.
So if you
That's
need
correct.
details for this free webinar, head to fb.com/SDE Academy, and details would be up very soon. 11 May, 11 a.m. with Sonia, free webinar. Call your friends, tell your neighbor, everybody get on board. Sonia will be there to coach you on this. Yep. All right. So we've heard from Sonia, and because we are all so sweet and pretty, Diane, you've got something special as well.
Yeah, I do.
It's like Christmas. We're giving away stuff.
You know, actually, over this whole 50 days, how many days has it been of MCO?
I don't care. I'm happy. I'm happy at home. I'm happy at home.
Actually, I feel a lot of people might be feeling a bit down, like you have been working from home in your PJs. So we kind of ran a little unofficial survey, and we found that actually people miss suiting up. So we say, hey, why don't we give people a chance to suit up? And so 50 ringgit was a shoot for 3 photos that I'm providing. 3, and
Okay.
3 photos
I'm typing
means
this out also.
you suit up, come over to my studio, $50, 3 photos. It will make you feel like $1 million. Okay.
Okay. 50 for $1 million.
Yeah, 50 for $1 million.
Great.
You feel like $1 million. I know. I mean, people ask me like $50. What do you make out of it? Frankly, I don't make much. It's actually to boost everybody's morale here. Like, I think a lot of us have been stuck at home. You're working your PJs, you be suiting up. It's an excuse for you to suit up, or it's a chance for you to update your resume. Or actually, I'm gonna throw this out there. Okay, if you know anybody who has lost their jobs, and they might want to go for an interview, they just need an updated photo. Please, specially text us and say this, and we will look into your situation, and we might be able to work out something really special for you. So
Don't abuse her kindness, yeah.
don't abuse it, please. But if you're really in the circumstances where you can't pay the $50 and you really have an interview coming and you don't have a good photo, please talk to me.
Please. Yeah. So details are on Diane's Facebook fan page as well. fb.com/Moko Malaysia. Then you'll find out what Moko is. Go over there. There would be some terms and conditions. You can't, I'll say this, Diane won't say it, I'll say it. You can't expect 50 ringgit for so many things. There would be some terms and conditions, but we promise you that the 3 pieces of photos that you get is what you need. Yeah. So Diane is doing this just to assist us in this time of need. Should you need something a bit more, speak to her. Okay. Let me just scroll through. There is a question for Sonia from Mr. Rajesh Sharma. Your programs, are they online? The free webinar one is clearly a webinar, so that would be online. How about your 1991?
I think in this time, there is no way that I'm going to risk anybody's health and safety by running a face-to-face training. So definitely it will be an online program, but we will structure it in a way which is friendly for you, because I don't think anybody is going to want to sit down in front of the laptop the whole day. I don't know about you guys, but I cannot sit down for 8 hours. I need to move. So we will actually structure it in a way you will get a full day's program, but whether it's held over broken down into 2 days or 2 slots or something like that, we will sign up. So we need to take into consideration as well the people who are working from home, whether they need to cook for their families, whether they need to arrange for people to take care of their kids while they are attending the webinar. So those kind of things we will take into account the logistics. So don't worry, you will get a full day's program, and it will be online friendly, and it will be very safe, and you will have, and trust me, I've done this before, you will have fun.
Yeah. So that's pretty good trainer. Well, I've seen her physical class. I've been into her physical class. So yeah, she is garang lah, like guru besar like that. But seriously, it's impactful when the trainer is serious about it and is serious about your growth. Yeah. So Rajesh Sharma, if you are interested, I'll show this one more time before I call the end to the show. Thank you so much for all. Sorry, Rajesh. Oh, Miss Rajesh. I'm so sorry, Miss Rajesh. My bad. Okay. So if you are interested, this is a number once again. Thank you everybody for tuning in, for contributing, for participating. You can watch a replay of this. I will not be taking this video down, so there's still time. Oh, you're most welcome. No problem in answering the questions. It's our pleasure. Okay, so the next episode would be this coming Monday, and I will have 3 guests. This is the first time Shine at 9 will have such a big show, and I'll be having 3 people with me. They are friends, so they're coming on the show together, but they're all industry specialists, industry experts. We are talking about performing checks and balance from home, remote control basically, not the remote control you use for TV and Netflixing. Yeah. So Mr. Liu Yihao, Ms. Nikki Che, and Mr. S.L. Lai will be joining us, will be joining me on the hot seat. So that's Monday, 9 p.m. And with that, I want to thank my guest today. Sonia, thank you very much for your time. It's been so good to spend 1 hour with you, more than 1 hour now. And Diane, thank you so much. You smiling makes me want to smile. I hope you ladies had a brilliant time as well with us.
I did.
Thank you. It's been fun.
Thank you. All right then. Okay, we'll catch up behind the scenes. Good night. I'm going to end the broadcast now. Bye-bye, everybody. Good night.
Good night.